It was a magical Christmas night in the small town of North Light. The streets were covered in snow, and colorful lights twinkled on the houses, creating a charming scene. However, amid all the joy and festivity, a young man named Lucas felt isolated and sad. He had always been the chosen one in his family, the one who carried the weight of others' expectations and emotions. While everyone celebrated, Lucas struggled with a deep sense of loneliness. Since he was little, Lucas had realized that he was different. He felt the pain of others intensely, as if it were his own. When his mother was worried, he felt a tightness in his heart. When his sister, Anna, was sad, he couldn't concentrate on anything. He was the pillar of the family, but this responsibility left him exhausted. Why am I like this? He wondered. Why do I feel so much? On that Christmas night, as laughter echoed through the house, Lucas decided to step outside for some fresh air. He walked to the park, where the Christmas lights shone on the trees, reflecting in his tear-filled eyes. He sat on a bench and looked up at the starry sky, wishing that the pain he felt could disappear. As he contemplated, an elderly woman approached. She had a warm smile and eyes that seemed to understand everything. "You look sad, my young man," she said, sitting down beside him. "What weighs on your heart?" Lucas hesitated but felt he could trust her. "I feel different. I carry a weight I can't explain. Sometimes I feel like my pain has no purpose." The woman smiled with compassion. "Ah, dear, being chosen is not a burden, but a calling. Every challenge you face has a greater purpose. You are like a diamond in the process of being polished. The harder the stone, the brighter the final result." Lucas listened intently, feeling a wave of hope begin to rise within him. "But why me? Why do I feel so much?" "Because you have a sensitive heart and a strong soul," the woman replied. "God chooses special people for extraordinary missions. You have the courage to face the impossible and the sensitivity to transform lives. Your pain is not in vain. It is a part of your growth and your purpose." Those words touched Lucas deeply. He began to understand that his journey was not just about him, but about how he could impact the lives of others. He remembered all the times he had helped friends and family, how his presence brought comfort and hope. "So, my suffering is a preparation for something greater?" he asked. "Exactly," said the woman. "Every obstacle you face is an opportunity for growth. You are not alone on this journey. There are many like you, chosen to shine in the midst of darkness. And this Christmas, remember that your light is needed. You are an agent of change, even if the world has not yet recognized your potential." Lucas felt a new determination grow within him. He realized that although his journey was challenging, there was a greater purpose in everything he was going through. He stood up from the bench, thanked the woman, and began to walk back home, feeling lighter. Upon arriving home, Lucas saw his family gathered, laughing and sharing stories. He joined them, and for the first time in a long time, he felt a deep connection with those he loved. He realized that even amid suffering, there was joy and love around him. On that Christmas night, as the snow gently fell outside, Lucas decided that he would no longer ignore his light. He committed to using his sensitivity and strength to help others, to be a beacon of hope in difficult times. He knew that his journey was just beginning, but now he had the courage to face it. With a new purpose, Lucas joined his family, ready to celebrate Christmas not just as a festivity, but as a moment of renewal and transformation. He knew that as a chosen one, his life had a special meaning, and he was determined to shine brightly, lighting the way for those who were still lost in the darkness. The next morning, Lucas woke up with an idea. He decided to organize a small Christmas celebration for the residents of his community who were going through difficulties. He wanted to share the light he had found the night before. With the help of his family, he began planning an event that would bring everyone together, regardless of their circumstances. On the day of the celebration, the park was filled with people. Lucas and his family set up tables with delicious food, decorated the space with lights and ornaments, and even organized a gift exchange. As people arrived, Lucas felt an indescribable joy. He saw smiles on the faces of people who, like him, were facing challenges. He realized that by sharing his light, he was helping others find theirs. During the celebration, Lucas climbed onto a small platform and spoke to the crowd. Today we are here to remember that even in the midst of suffering, we are chosen to shine. Each of us has a light within, and together we can illuminate the world. Let's support each other and remember that we are not alone. Lucas's words resonated in everyone's hearts. He saw tears of joy and smiles of hope. At that moment, he understood that his suffering was not in vain. He was fulfilling his purpose, helping others find strength and light in their own lives. And so, on that Christmas night, Lucas not only celebrated the festivity, but also the transformation that occurs when the chosen come together to share their light. He realized that even amid pain, there was a greater purpose, and that his journey was just beginning. With a heart full of gratitude, he knew that together they could face any challenge and illuminate even the darkest corners of the world. The suffering of the chosen is a theme that deeply touches the soul of many. Often, those who are sensitive and have a special calling face challenges that seem disproportionate. But why does this happen? Suffering is not a sign of weakness or abandonment, but rather an essential part of spiritual growth and the fulfillment of a greater purpose. Being chosen is not a title of instant glory. It is a calling that comes with responsibilities and challenges. In Lucas's story, we see a young man who carries the weight of family expectations and the pain of others' emotions. He is a clear example of how the chosen feel the world's pains more intensely. This sensitivity is a blessing, but it can also be a burden. Lucas represents many of us who, at some point, felt different, as if we carried an invisible weight. The chosen are those who have an inner light that disturbs those who live in darkness. They are often the pillars of their families and communities, but this position can be lonely. The responsibility of being the strong one can lead to profound emotional suffering. However, it is important to remember that this pain is not in vain. Every challenge we face has a greater purpose. The suffering of the chosen is often a process of polishing. Just as a diamond is formed under pressure, the chosen are shaped by their difficult experiences. Every obstacle we face is not a blockage, but an opportunity for growth. Lucas, in his journey, realizes that his pain is a preparation for something greater. He learns that by facing his difficulties, he is becoming stronger and more capable of helping others. When Lucas sits in the park and reflects on his life, he is in a moment of introspection that many of us have experienced. It is in this space of solitude and reflection that he finds the wisdom of the elderly woman, who represents the voice of experience and truth. She teaches him that his sensitivity and pain are part of a divine calling. This revelation is crucial to understanding that suffering can be a path to transformation. History is filled with examples of people who faced great suffering and, through it, became agents of change. Think of figures like Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison, enduring inhumane conditions. During that time, he not only endured suffering, but also prepared to lead his country toward freedom. His suffering was not in vain. He became a symbol of resistance and hope. Another example is Mother Teresa of Calcutta, who dedicated her life to caring for the poorest and sickest. She faced criticism and challenges, but her compassion and love for others made her an admired figure worldwide. The suffering she witnessed daily did not break her. Instead, it strengthened her determination to make a difference. These examples show that suffering can be a catalyst for change. The chosen, like Lucas, are often called to face their own battles so they can help others in their struggles. Suffering teaches us empathy, compassion, and the ability to see beyond the surface. A vital aspect of the journey of the chosen is the importance of community. Lucas, when deciding to organize a Christmas celebration for the residents of his community, realizes that he is not alone. He joins his family and neighbors to share his light and hope. This unity is fundamental for healing and growth. When the chosen come together, they create a safe space where they can share their experiences and support one another. The community is a place where pain can be transformed into collective strength. It is through mutual support that the chosen can face their challenges and find a greater purpose in their struggles. Lucas's story teaches us that even amid suffering, we can find joy and connection by helping others. When he stands up to speak to the crowd during the celebration, he not only shares his pain, but also his hope. He becomes a beacon of light for those who are lost in darkness, showing that pain can be transformed into something beautiful and meaningful. Christmas is a special time that symbolizes the light that shines in the darkness. Just as the star guided the wise men to the birthplace of Jesus, the chosen are called to be that light for the world. The suffering we face can bring us closer to our true essence and prepare us to fulfill our divine purpose. Lucas, realizing that his pain has a purpose, transforms into an agent of change. He not only accepts his calling, but also commits to using his light to help others. This transformation is what we can all achieve. When we understand that our suffering is part of a greater plan, we can find the strength and courage to move forward. The suffering of the chosen is not a sign of weakness, but an essential part of their spiritual journey. Every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth and transformation. Just like Lucas, who learns to see his pain as a calling to help others, we can all find a greater purpose in our struggles. Lucas's story reminds us that we are not alone. There are many around us who also face challenges and need our light. By coming together as a community, we can transform our suffering into strength and hope. This Christmas, may we remember that we are chosen to shine, even amid darkness. May we be beacons of light, guiding others on their journeys and showing that even in difficulties, there is always a greater purpose. May the light of Christmas illuminate our hearts and inspire us to face our challenges with courage and love. And may, like Lucas, we become agents of change, transforming our pain into hope and our loneliness into community. The chosen are those who, amid pain and suffering, become instruments of divine light, reflecting God's strength and compassion in a world that often gets lost in darkness. They are special because they carry within them a unique sensitivity, an ability to feel and understand the struggles of others, transforming their own wounds into sources of healing and hope. Every tear shed, every challenge faced, is an opportunity for growth and a step toward fulfilling a greater purpose. God chooses them not only to endure the storms of life, but to become beacons of light that guide others on their journeys. They are shaped by their experiences, like diamonds that shine more brightly under pressure. This spiritual polishing enables them to see beyond appearances, to perceive beauty in pain, and to find meaning in difficulties. The chosen are called to be agents of change, to inspire those around them, and to show that even in the darkest nights, the light of love and hope never goes out. being chosen is a call to responsibility, but it is also a divine gift. It is the confirmation that, even amid suffering, there is a greater purpose in their lives. They are special to God because, through their struggles, they become living witnesses of His grace and mercy. Each of them is a fundamental piece in the great mosaic of creation, and their light is needed to illuminate the path for others. Therefore, remember, the chosen are not alone. They are part of a divine plan that transcends human understanding, and their journey is an expression of God's unconditional love. Now I want to share something special with you, something that can transform your life. The devotional, The Chosen, 40 Days with Jesus. This 40-day journey was inspired by the series, The Chosen, and aims to draw your heart closer to Jesus in a unique and profound way. It is not just a book, but a spiritual experience that can renew your faith and strengthen your connection with God. During these 40 days, you will be guided by daily reflections that will touch your soul and help you see God in every detail of your daily life. Each day is a new opportunity for spiritual growth and transformation. If you feel the desire to draw closer to God, hear His voice more clearly, and strengthen your faith, this is the perfect opportunity for you. All you need is to set aside 15 minutes a day for this journey. It can be at dawn, before sleeping, or during a break in your day. The important thing is to create the habit of connecting with God daily. I invite you to accept this 40-day challenge. See what happens when you dedicate yourself to seeking Jesus intentionally. You will realize that God has never been distant. In fact, He has always been closer than you imagined. Experience it and let this journey transform your life. I am George, your friend and spiritual guide, and I am here to remind you that you are not alone. May this Christmas be a time of renewal, hope, and purpose in your life. Let the divine light illuminate every part of your heart.